We'll turn it round.
Oh, mate, that's all gone to shit.
Fucking ruined the whole lot of this stuff here. It's so ridiculous. Come on, can't I?
How did we ever get friends?
I don't know. Through this. Where were we?
God, no.
Very important. Whatever it was before all that. Jesus Christ. It's all important to pass on, and people forget all that stuff. The words and the music.
They do forget that stuff.
And you don't hear the words in songs a lot of the times these days. And so there was that, and there was the rock and roll thing. So you put all that together, you know. I mean, my friend across the road, his sister had long blonde hair and a hairdryer.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes,
I've never seen a hairdryer in my life. In 1962, nobody had hairdryers.
Yeah.
And the first Bob Dylan, the first Beatles song came out, and that crystallised my life. You know, like I'm watching her dry her hair and listening to the Beatles album with the harmonies and tunes. It's a fantastic.
I see that every day.
Yeah, and you have the Beatles and then the Bob Dylan one. I thought the Beatles have got the tunes and the melodies and the harmonies, and Bob Dylan's telling me something else. But I was 7 years old, but I knew something was very important about it, you know. And these are the things that make you want to love rock and roll in the end. But for that moment, it crystallised everything for me. I didn't know I was going to play in a band. At that point, I was 7 years old, but I thought, in that moment, everything came into place, you know. Huh?
You was always a mod, weren't you?
Yeah. I was a mod before I was a punk, and then...
Yeah.
But it all no, you're right.
Now.
It all seemed the same though, because I had the scooters when I was 16 and all that.
Yeah.
And I was 20 when the Buzzcocks started out. So, you know, I was doing all the mod thing, you know. But what always intrigued me was like the Beatles and the Stones were mods, but then like there was a bit rockers as well. You know, it's like they was being themselves. So mockers, yeah, that's right. Yes, exactly. So, I think there's that as well. You know, it's not good to be too regimented to one thing.
Yeah.
But, in those days of punk, it was like, you know, on the political side a little bit, we all wanted to be autonomous and rule ourselves.
Yeah,
you know?
but I never knew the words.
No, sounds good, doesn't it?
It's a great word. Yeah, I had to I actually got a dictionary.
That's a very complicated song, because I'd written a song called Fast Cars, which is about the symbolism of cars.
I understood that.
Yeah, but it went very linear type of song, you know, rock and roll kind of song or punk.
Yeah, I had a fast car.
So, but with autonomy, I was listening to Can, this German experiment.
Oh, why does it all come back to Can?
Yeah, it always does that, I know. No, but just at that moment, I was listening to them, and I thought, it's weird, there's a German guy trying to sing English, so I'll be an English guy pretending to be a German singing English. So it started off like that.
Say that again.
There was a German guy pretending to sing English, and I thought, I'll be an English guy pretending to be a German singing English. I must have been a weird play, but I was very opening then, because we'd grown up with Bowie. We'd be grown up with Bowie and Eno and all that, and Stockhausen before all that. So autonomy was a little bit experimental like that, as well as the word, which I thought is a kind of perfect thing for like that kind of the punk rock generation wanting self-rule and stuff like that, wanting to rule yourself. At the same time, if you listen to it, Adrian Thule said that's the Buzzcocks heroes, and I can see that in a way, you know what I mean? Because it goes
Adrian feels
enemy, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it was quite avant-garde for Buzzcocks.
I love that song.
That was a pivotal moment for Buzzcocks to take away from the pop stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and
I'll have
started
to. It
to
goes on a little bit long,
experiments.
doesn't it?
Well, you've got that riff at the end, but it's a very beautiful classical thing.
Goes on
It's
too long,
experiment.
so.
Well, not as long as anything on Low by Bowie, you know. But but it wasn't to do with that. It was to do with like this.
It's still one of my
avant-garde
favourites,
song, you know. And it had that simple chorus of that. As Chekhov said, simplicity is everything. And even that song, it sounds very complicated, but it's very simple also, you know.
Is it?
And that's the art. Well, all great songs are simple, but they sound complicated sometimes.